a protest letter to the Nigerian Electric Commission regarding a recent electricity tariff hike. The unions need 12, the 2024, to reverse the hike or face mass action. They urge that the hike is morally wrong and disregard the challenge faced by Nigerians. Britain with electricity contract distribution and generating companies to export. Failure to comply will result in swift and decisive action from the unions. And so forth has been an issue because a lot of persons were of opinion that the ban A was actually for people of high status and
in their dealings, like the hike that they've issued, NSC should goes around all to the nook and cranny in the society.
Okay, so the issue of electricity hike has been for a while now. We've been talking about it's not affecting. Is it affecting the economy?
Yes, it's affecting the economy drastically. There's only one part it is not affecting.
Where?
Witchcraft. And anything has to do.
I don't understand
yes,
that.
Witchcraft, anything that has to do with evil. Because I believe a right-thinking man should know that electricity affects everything good, except the positivity of a nation. Now, looking at people that do business like pure water business and cooling water, they need what we call sachet water, but they need instant in the sense that first of all, if Nigerians enjoying full electricity, there will not be space for someone to cut off the lights, because it says when wanted that the enemy went to war to sow tags. It is when it is in that dark this particular society, this particular community, this particular street don't have light. You see some boys going there to steal the armored cable and all that, because if they 24/7 light. There's a 24 hours times 7 light in the transformers and all that. So I believe to a large extent, if the government, I still boil down to God, if the government and the electricity distribution company can't ensure that the masses enjoy light to its fullness, there will be no space for, there will be no room for such alteration of power supply and all that.
All right. The next reported that the Lagos Senate has approved a bill that imposes a death penalty for those involved in manufacturing and trafficking dangerous drugs and 15 years imprisonment without the option of fine for drugs consumers. The amendment aims to address the widespread issue of substance abuse among youth influenced by peer pressure. The decision a review process and aims some objections from lawmakers, including concern about the hasty consideration of the bill and the severity of the penalties. The bill will now be sent to the House of Representatives for occurrence before being sent to the President for assent. Addressing journalists after the amendment, chairman of the committee of the youth that are engaged in the drugs and substance abuse, sometimes innocently as the result of peer group influence. Mr. Akrika, what do you think about the decision of the upper chamber, the Senate, now passing into law that the manufacturers of the hard drugs, if they are being caught, are being apprehended, it's a death sentence? And then for those people consuming drugs, this substance, they will go in for 15 years imprisonment. And again, you know that this is very common because almost every week the NDLA get to arrest this set of persons that are into these drugs because it's around in our country. And correctional center is congested. And they will keep taking these people in there. And looking at the fact that it has been passed that it's a death sentence, do you think that this will stand, or you think it's just to scare them away from doing what they should, I mean, they are supposed to do, engaging in this acts?
First of all, Ima, I pray this does not end as headline is. But if this is put into law and put into book and followed up is a good start. Now, first of all, if you look at the havoc drug has caused our youths and teenagers in this dispensation, you weep. In the sense that you see teenagers venturing into drugs. Out of all your thinking, out of all your thoughts, that's what will diminish the society. What will make a society to rancor? What will propagate havoc, crimes, and that's what you think is what should be manufactured. Yeah, that death sentence to me is a good one. And if 2 to 3% got sentenced to that, and maybe the manufacturers, they see clearly and they find out that this is what has been done to 3 to 5%, I believe the other persons would take to their heel. It is even more paramount.
Engage in consumption of this substance, do not know the side effects of that?
Most of them, they are under peer group influence. No, peer group influence. But if they come to rationale, if they come to that, if they are equipped, if they are aware, if they are more informed, if it sounds like a warning, a warning. The same way we talk about things that are happening in society. The same way to up strategies to put, because first of all, this is really it. This drug thing is. It has ruined the youth of this society, and in fact, most of them, there's no hope for them, because you look at them, some of them go into it, and for days, weeks, they don't eat, they don't bathe, they don't do anything reasonable, they don't think, some of them, they're in school, end up becoming school dropouts, they don't think, because it is so apparent.
So what happened to the retailers?
To the retailers, that's why you say, the retailers and the manufacturers should be death sentence. The retailers, whether you're manufacturing and retailers, because they are the one that is propagating it.
You are saying it should be, but what we read here is that for the manufacturers, death sentence; for the consumers, 15 years imprisonment. They didn't talk about the retailers, yes, because we know that there are so many of them that still have this in stock. So if they happen to apprehend like 5 manufacturers, there are people who have already gone to buy this substance from them in order to sell it out. So what happened to the middleman?
Yes, that is the middleman. That's my concern now. Now, first of all, the consumers, most of them don't really have direct contact to the manufacturers.
Definitely.
So it's the retailers that brings it closer to their doorsteps. So if the manufacturers are placed on death sentence, the retailers should also be in death sentence, because in fact, they're even causing even more havoc than even the manufacturers. To me, more than you and I. In fact, we don't even know them. But they know the consumers, the retailers. They know the consumers and they know the manufacturers, that the middlemen. Because without them issuing this link, most of these consumers stay up to 6 months, 1 year. They don't see it from these retailers. They may end up forgetting about it. Because if you just like the retailers, they are the vehicles, through which the message is passed. So when you kill the vehicle, the message is gone. So if the retailers are taken out of the book, placed in death sentence, and the manufacturers death sentence, and maybe the consumers they don't see.
Due to bring this to the nearest minimum, how would this affect what impact will it have on our economy?
First of all,
generally.
First of all, do you know that these boys that take these drugs, if you look at them, most of them have bright futures. Most of them can sing very well. Most of them are musicians. Most of them are even gospel musicians that because of this, they had to to the other secular world. Most of them are very hardworking. Most of them are intelligent to the core. Most of them they're A products when it comes to academics. Most of them they are very crafty. Most of them in fact the engineers are in fact they are so sound. So if this can stop, Ima, in the nearest future, 5 to 10 years, we'll have best brains. We have best brains in our country. We have best brain in the world. In fact, the world will enjoy its fullness. In fact, there are some things we will not cry aloud.
All right, so also looking at the fact that, like it is written here, that majority of youth are already into drugs. So that means if they were to bring statistics, I'm sure, let's just say 50-50 for the meantime. Do you think the best thing is just to come up with this or maybe oriental? Because a lot of persons are already lost in it. So how do they bring them out? Is the best way to take them into correctional centers for the meantime or to sensitize the community?
If we want to take them to correctional centers, we should start.
Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Arts. La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Rumukalabo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Hackett. On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m. Inter-school march past competition,
Dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown bouncing castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689 and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the La Small Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Hackett, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Oscar Water. Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our story on education. UNICEF highlighted Nigerians' challenge of having 18.3 million children, the highest globally, during a meeting in Gombe. Only 63% of primary school age children attend school regularly, with 84% transitioning to junior secondary school education. Factors include policies, constraints, teacher shortage, infrastructure, cultural norms, health concern, and child labor. UNICEF collaborates with the government to develop strategies and models to reduce this number and improve education outcomes. All right, so this is from UNICEF.
Okay.
About 18.3 out of school children. That's what we are having at this present time. And they have actually listed out some of those factors that could actually contribute to And again, of course, we know that insecurity is, if not one of the major, one of the things that cause these out-of-school children, and also the shortage of teachers, because it is of no essence if they try to school at the end of the day, nothing to come out with, because the one of teacher cannot carry a particular number of children. What do you think is the way forward?
No, first of all, to me, the major challenge of this is now, or one of the factors of this, it's not the teachers, that we have lack of teachers now. We have so many teachers. The issue is that the government have refused to do employment. Yes, if you have teachers around the streets, who pay, people, okay, let's look at let's look at let's have a viewpoint of teachers, of people that graduate from the university on yearly. They have people who graduate from universities now. Yet the government, how? Okay. Let's take for instance, in River State. When was the last time employment was being made? For the past 8 years, there have not been employment. Okay, let's look at, for the past 8 years, River State have not done any employment. Now, for that 8 years, universities, the 3 universities that we have in the states, let's take that for instance, the 3 universities we have in the state, they have graduated how many persons? How many thousands of persons have left the universities? Okay, and how many thousands of persons are in the streets? Now, if we go to the secondary schools, that have these, we find out that there are so many students that are in those classes that don't have teachers. They don't have teachers to teach them. Streets that we should be in those classes teaching our children. Now, that side apart. Now, looking at our schools, the inflation in their fees, the hike in their fees. Now, you find out that most parents cannot send their children to these schools because of the hike in schools. Even up to the universities. Most of the universities, their school fees is over 100,000. Private, government-owned universities, government-owned institutions, over 100,000 and above. I wouldn't want to mention names, but that's just it. Now, over to the secondary schools, private-owned secondary schools, where most of the parents think that okay, their children can go there and have a good place to teach them. You can barely see a good secondary school that would take a minimum of 20,000 as a tuition fee per term.
Okay.
You can have. What you see is 100,000 and above, and that could teach properly. So these are reasons why most of these students are found at home. Even in those government-owned schools, if you go there, they will tell you that it's free education, but finally they're paying. What they pay, some of them will pay for broom, some of them will pay. You pay for broom, for cutlass, you pay for this, you pay for that, you pay for registration, and the cost of registration for one student. So for one people or student in that government-owned university is something else. So if the government can streamline all this and make sure that our children, the children that are ready to go to school, if we go on the street now, we've gone on the street. Today is Friday. Now, if we look at our statistics, go on the street, you see most of the students, they're hawking on the street. All
right, so UNICEF also said that one of the factors contributing to out-of-school children, especially this number, is budgetary constraints. How is that affecting?
Now, first of all, yes. That's the major reason. Budget constraints. Now let's look at, if we look at the Bureau of Statistics of the budget in Nigeria, how much was allocated for education? And you want Nigeria to grow. I'm using Nigeria as a case study because that's our primary constituency. That's our society. How much was allocated? Now, the three things that should move the nation. You see, agriculture, education, and security. Because first of all, if you have eaten, you're sure to be alive. If you're secured, if you have a secure shelter where you're secure, where you know that you can sleep with your two eyes closed. Yes, and education. That's what makes a nation to be to be developed or to be a developing nation. Now, Nigeria, let's look at the amount we have for agriculture. The budget allocation for agriculture is very poor. That of education, and even the one that they put for security is so. So if you look at the budget for education, which we are talking about, is of the barest minimum. Is too low to cater for all these things. And even if it is being issued, are they properly sent to these universities? Now, in the universities, we have test funds for the universities. Then for our secondary schools, what are they asking us to build more classrooms? Most of this if you go to most of these secondary schools, like the ones we have in the rural areas, some of them don't have seats. They don't have chairs to sit. Some of them, the roofs they don't have roofs. It's not conducive. Some of them sit under the tree to learn. So what are the intimating that these buildings are being built? These schools do they check the principles of these schools and the vice principles of these schools, the headmasters of these schools, if they are really carrying out these things, if they are ensuring that adequate learning is taking place? Because first of all, as an education is that
would be because everybody have freedom to education, so that everyone is supposed to attend that school. Anyone that wants to, you don't constrain it that this is just for our people. So when they're talking about cultural, how does that affect? How does that